Artists have always travelled throughout history. Famously, Gauguin, Monet, George O'Keeffe, they all down brushes in their studio and they get out into the world and get inspiration, new cultures and new landscapes, new colours. The connection with Antler, I would say, just seemed completely natural and meant to be. For me, inspiration doesn't come from sitting still in the studio. It comes from getting out down the road, into London, into the English countryside, or abroad with my camera and my sketchbook. I make a living out of people watching, basically. I love people watching. I love kind of blending into a crowd or a cityscape and just observing. When I was growing up, mainly it was just me and my parents. So whenever we went on holiday, I would spend a lot of time on my own. So I think that's kind of where the observational interest came from. And I took a trip to New York in my early 20s with them, and they were off doing stuff. I think that's where it really started, the street photography. And then I came back and found I wanted to paint these street scenes as opposed to having sitters come into the studio that I already knew. I was more interested in getting out and photographing and documenting and then painting strangers and wondering about their lives. I'm kind of fascinated by those strangers, what's happening in their lives and who they are, and what's their home life like when they're not on the tube or they're not at the bus stop. I suppose I like to explore the world through paint and as opposed to words or stories. So the artist and the viewer can kind of create their own story about that person. We can all be quite fixated on our immediate lives, especially in a city. We can feel quite small and we don't have that sense of expanse and potential and perspective. So in this painting, I suppose the woman has perhaps just got off the train and she's looking out into the countryside, and perhaps she's thinking about what she's left behind or what she's going to encounter. Maybe she's got off at the wrong station. She's going, where am I? But it's about infinite possibilities and adventure and the next stage, which I think is something that I think about a lot.